Is cold email marketing dead? Hi everyone, and welcome to Marketing Madness. This is our first episode, and I'm going to be your host, Clarissa Holm. I'm the head of client success and strategy at VerdanTech, and this is our first episode with Dennis Kriel, our chief visionary officer.
Right, yes. Sometimes I feel it's herding cats, but, I try my best. So, yes, welcome to our first podcast where we talk about marketing madness. And sometimes it feels like madness, everything that's happening so fast, changing so quickly. Everything from GEO to SEO to whatever it takes to grow your brand and grow your business and get you more leads is what we'll be discussing on this video series. So welcome and enjoy the ride.
Perfect. So to kick things off, we're going to start with one of the biggest questions out there at the moment. Is cold email marketing dead? What are your thoughts on that?
It depends on who you ask. But I think what we've seen in the data is that the response from cold email outreach has steadily declined in the last 3 years. There's a range of different reasons for this. One is that the tools used to see if email is spam or not has been increasingly more accurate. That's one of them. They've also brought in tools like DKIM, DMARC, SPDF, etc., which basically authenticates those emails, making sure that they're coming from the right person. So that's on the technology side. I think that delivery, it's more difficult to get some of the filters that's in place. On the other side, people are suffering from information overload.
Yeah.
There's so many emails coming in, so many things that you have to do, that as soon as something looks like maybe a little bit salesy or cold outreach, people just delete it. And Google itself has brought in, with Google Workspace, some great tools to see is this marketing or is this update where it's coming from, or is this from a real person. So I think it's more difficult to reach people, but also when you reach people, they don't necessarily respond to those emails. So we need to find a different way.
Yeah, so there's been we've seen an uptick in the delete on-site syndrome, as it's called, and the Forbes Council has done a lot of research into that and why that is. And one of the biggest things that came back is that 76% of people mistrust emails because they feel or instinctively know it's AI generated and it's not coming from a real person. Which actually brings us to the other side of this whole thing is, while email marketing has definitely declined, and there's a lot of stats and articles out there to prove it, the increase we're seeing now is in high-touch, personalized marketing. We're going back to the days where connecting, networking, and a conversation with someone's going to get you a lot further than a random cold email is.
And the name of the game is trust. Can I trust the sender of this message? Yeah. Also, can I trust what they basically want to talk to me about? So marketing, in a way, is getting more personalized for who you're speaking to, but it also needs to get more authentic in who's generating the content, who's generating the communication, who's generating the message. And which is ironic because AI can actually help you get your brand voice, get it more accurate, use it to generate ideas, but you still need a human in the loop. I always say, I can see even within our own business the benefits that AI bring to our own productivity, as long as you have a human in the loop. So it's the combination of human wisdom with artificial intelligence that really is where the magic happens. But it is true. You want to build trust with your audience, with your prospective clients. You need to become known, liked, and trusted.
Yeah, it's true. AI is definitely not the enemy, and I think a lot of people use it irresponsibly. Just throwing something at ChatGPT and expecting it to get your brand right and know your target audience and actually write something that's going to resonate with the person that you're reaching out to is just unreasonable. But when applied correctly, AI can be used to actually find buying triggers and really deepen our ability to research what people will react to. So I think that's what it comes down to, is just using AI responsibly when it comes to outreach. But like you said, making sure that there's an actual person with actual feelings and an understanding of who they're selling to, that's checking this and that's driving it and that's actually making the decisions on what's being said. So yeah. So in your experience, what tools would you suggest other than cold outreach? How do we replace that? Because it's been a big part of marketing. A lot of people have gone to it. It's been a cheaper, more cost-effective way to reach thousands of people, but it's not working anymore. So what do people do? How do we replace that with something equally as effective?
I think email still has its place, but instead of cold outreach, more creating a community and building a community and communicating with your audience in an authentic way. It's all about that authenticity. If I know, like, and trust somebody and they've moved out of the noise into that circle of friends or trusted advisors, then when I get an email from that person, even though I know that email has been sent through an automated system, I know that that person is part of that process, and what they're saying there, they can stand behind. So this is where using automation and AI tools to help you communicate and create community is still a powerful way of getting your voice and your brand and your thoughts and your I want to say uniquely human perspective on whatever topic you're talking about out there.
Yeah. And that definitely, we've seen it with ourselves. It's not only helped us when we do eventually reach out to a client, they've already been warmed up, they know who we are, but it's also caused something we didn't expect. We actually get a lot of inbound leads, which I think at the end of the day is the goal, is you want people to reach out to you for your expertise. And that's what's been happening because we've been placing, you as our CEO has been placing yourself in circles and in networking spaces where people get to know you, they start trusting you, and then they eventually reach out to us. I can't think of a single client that we didn't actually get, that we have an amazing relationship with, that we didn't get this way.
It's becoming a key person of influence within your sphere and within your area that you know about and that you talk about. I want to say, content is king, and authentic content is even better.
Yeah.
Because as soon as people can see the human behind the message, they connect with that. Yeah. People want to buy from people. They want to have relationships, meaningful relationships, even within business settings. And I think that's where the opportunity lies, is helping or getting your voice back and putting yourself out there as a leader of a company, as a founder, as a CEO, and talking about your solution that you offer, your services, your team, what makes you unique in whatever field you want to change.
Yeah. It feels like the whole marketing is shifting towards network marketing. It's very focused on, like you said, community, voice, and just consistency overall. We have a client that we do email outreach for our clients, but we've completely shifted the way that we do it. We use it as an engagement tool to keep them inside of our community, and we really try and nail this person's voice. It needs to sound as close to our clients as it can. It needs to bring over their personality. So when you read it, you need to get a sense of who that person is. And I think that's why it's been so effective for us, and that's why we get the responses that we do, because we've used AI to a point, but it's still authentic because it sounds like the person that's selling to them. So
that's true, and we basically use their body of work to make sure that we stick to what they would say. And they're always part of that process. They come up with the ideas. They come up with the content. We might help them to just put it in the right way and, optimize it to get the message across. But it's still them that's saying it. Because at the end of the day, they need to be able to stand behind what they've said online and within the public domain and in the town square. So it's a great responsibility that we have as well to make sure that we stick to our clients' voices and their brand and what they want to get across. And it boils down to trust again. Can you trust the people and the content and the messaging that you see?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's coming back to the human connection is really what the differentiator is between whether email marketing is going to work or not. That's been a very enlightening discussion so far. I think my next question is, what physical tools would we recommend to people out there to start using? So I know we use a lot of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and that's worked wonders for us because it allows us to actually find common ground with a person before we reach out to them. What other platforms or tools would you suggest?
So, there's so many. If you really want to get to build those automations where you have, I want to say, control over it, any of your automation tools like Make or Init can create those more advanced tools where it actually takes input from the user, input from other signals that it gets, like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, something that's happening in the market or something that's happening in the news, and combines all of those data sources or data points into unique messages, updates, newsletters, etc. Other tools like Pipedrive or HubSpot or any of the other CRM tools, go high level, all of them have the potential, but in the end, it's not as much the tool that you use, it's how you build the messaging, the drip campaigns, the lead magnets that adds value to your clients. And I think people get focused too much on the tools. What you really should be focusing on is how do you add value to people so that value translate into the trust that you need for them to come to you.
No, it does. It boils down to what you actually put out there, what you give people before they've even had a conversation with you, how much value you add before their first meeting. I think that makes a big difference in how they come to the meeting, what mentality they have when they join you in a meeting. So that brings us to the end of our first episode. Thank you, Dennis. It's been very insightful. I think our listeners are really going to appreciate it. And then we'll see you guys next time for episode 2.
Okay, see you then.